As the people of Albuquerque pour millions into sprucing up the biopark with a new tax, there are major concerns that the city has been skimping on the zoo by hiring workers on the cheap to take care of the animals. News 13's Chris McKee is on special assignment.
It is a point of pride for Albuquerque and New Mexico.
I just think it's sort of that oasis.
This crown jewel of Albuquerque.
The biopark is the state's top tourist attraction, drawing in more than 1 million people a year, with the zoo getting the lion's share. The city recently came up with a new master plan for the whole facility, and voters chose to fund it, passing a new city sales tax to raise more than $15 million a year for new construction and new exhibits, like a penguin home.
I think the future is bright.
We're a real part of the community.
But as zoo advocates like Julie Miller-Rugg of the New Mexico Biopark Society watch the growth, there's a new concern over how the city's been running the zoo, with a lower number of permanent staff and a reliance on cheaper temporary employees.
Staffing has been a big issue.
That issue was raised by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, or AZA, the global accreditation agency that sets and reviews animal care standards. The AZA recently called out Albuquerque Zoo for some, quote, major concerns.
Anytime AZA speaks, you need to take it seriously. So we took it incredibly seriously.
Zoos that don't pass accreditation usually suffer consequences.
The biggest thing that happens first is any animal that you have that would be on loan, they would go away.
For Albuquerque, losing AZA accreditation could mean losing the Tasmanian devils, the koala, big cats like the jaguar, and the snow leopard, and more.
Eventually, the long term would be any animal that we currently own. As they pass away, it would be very difficult to replace. Anything we could get local would probably be what we would have. We're talking about a facility that probably would have a lot of prairie dogs and maybe some bison. And
the AZA criticized Albuquerque Zoo staffing levels, saying there was a, quote, significant reduction in permanent staff over the past 5 years. They also called out the city for using too many, quote, temporary employees, saying they could compromise human and animal safety. News 13 obtained these city records that show about 315 people have cycled in and out of roughly 70 different temp jobs at the biopark since 2012. Now, well, some of those jobs are receptionists or gardeners. Others work with animals with minimal experience, and sometimes those employees only stick around for a few weeks. Former zoo employees tell News 13 temporary keepers often do the exact same work as the permanent professionals, like feeding animals, giving out medication, and checking locks and more. Many times, the inexperience means permanent employees have to juggle lots of training for temps with animal care. Just last year, the USDA cited the zoo after a temp failed to spot a broken chlorine pump in the polar bear's main pool.
when you're working with animals that can be a danger to themselves or to staff, certainly those kinds of people should be really full-time and trained in their areas.
But temps have also been saving the city money. A 2015 audit showed temp zookeepers are about $8 to $9 an hour cheaper than full-time employees with benefits. City brass defended the financial strategy at a news conference this year.
I think when you're all down here doing a job in the trenches, doing a great job of it, you look at it and say, well, you know, it would be nice if there was a couple, 3 extra positions for animal care or maintenance and the like. And that's true, but we do need the nimbleness and the flexibility so that we don't have to get in a situation where we're overspent.
But the AZA isn't backing down and wants the city to make changes. We questioned Mayor Richard Berry about the staffing criticism.
When you hear those things,
right.
What is your reaction to this report?
Well, you put a plan in place to fix it, and that's what I think we've done.
The mayor says the city's tough economy is to blame.
Just like every family that watches your story, you know, we can't print money. We've got to do it with the resources that we have.
Is the cost savings of temporary employees worth what it's doing to the overall running of the zoo, though?
Well, once again, yeah, I think you always have to acknowledge that we are, you know, we've maintained our AZA accreditation.
While the city has kept its AZA accreditation, it is making changes.
It is a priority. It's never not been.
The zoo recently made 3 part-time zookeepers full-time. They're planning to hire 4 more full-time zookeepers and 2 new maintenance workers after the new year.
You know, we are in agreement with the AZI. I've had those conversations with them. We all agree, let's get these temporary positions, put them to permanent. It adds that stability moving forward.
Zoo advocates at the Biopark Society are counting on the city to keep its promise, where they think the zoo is in danger of losing a lot.
And in order to maintain and keep our facility at the level that, the public's used to, it's obviously, an incredibly important issue.
On special assignment, Chris McKee, KRQE News 13.
The city has also changed management at the biopark, hiring a chief executive to manage construction funded by that new tax money. A new deputy director focusing on animal care will start next month. Open the KRQE News app for a full look at reports detailing the biopark's staffing challenges.